Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 11 of the NCL Pick'ems. Um, yeah, it was a bit of an interesting week. Some good scores, some bad scores overall. But yeah, we'll have a look at the matches that were just gone of the week, like just done of the week gone by. I just realised I didn't put the winners in this slide, but that's okay. Um, the UNC Wingals did pick up the win in the first matchup, so that was a point to Magic, and unfortunately for Magic, that's going to be the only point it gets this week because the Tampa Bay Weasels did win matchup 2. I did win my matchup against Austin, so the Adelaide Overheat do take out the Atlanta Raptors there. Now the Seattle Raptors do win against the Snow Point City Blizzard. The Krabby Kadabbies did beat the Green Bay Glissopods. And wait, that's not right. Yeah, okay. The Green Bay Glissopods did beat the Krabby Kadabbies. Sorry, I'm getting that back. I'm mixed up. And then the Lana Lantern did beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, yeah. Magic gets 1 point. And I think that means that I got the top score for this week, funnily enough, which was 5 correct and 1 wrong, which was the first matchup, the Wiltshire Wartortoise versus the UNC Wingals. So yeah, we'll have a quick look at the scoreboards now, and we see that indeed I got the top score for this week, but I'm still right in the middle of the pack. A lot of people drawing on 10 after this week. Matt lost a lot of points. Dom and Jay both losing a couple of points, all putting them even with me there. Magic getting the 1 correct and 5 wrong, so he's even lower than he was before. And really no chance of catching up to anyone. Though I guess there are going to be lots of points available in the playoffs. So, I mean, who knows what will happen there. And we've still got the last 2 weeks of pick'ems as well before playoff pick'ems even come into this. Ben and Phil still quite far ahead of the pack, but I mean, all that takes is 1 bad week from either of them, and then 1 good week from like anywhere between anyone from Austin, Matt, Dom, Jay, or me, even Cade, even Nacho, I guess. I guess everyone has a chance of still making it pretty high when we go into the playoff pick'ems as well. So we'll see how that turns out in the upcoming weeks. We will have a look at this week's matchups, or this upcoming week's matchups. So the Krabby Kadabbies have decided that they are forfeiting their last couple of matchups just so that they don't give away any details for potential playoff matches and stuff like that. So the Staraptors do get that win, and that means that's basically just a free point for everyone. Everyone obviously picked the Staraptors because there would be no point picking the Krabby Kadabbies at this point. So we're not going to go into their matchup at all, and just that's the reason why, just so everybody knows. So our first matchup is the Green Bay Glissapod versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, then Adelaide Overheat versus the Lana Lantern, UNC Wingos versus the Snow Point City Blizzard, Tampa Bay Weasels versus the Wiltshire Wartortoise, and the Atlanta Raptors versus the Detroit Terravolts. And so yeah, first matchup, Green Bay Glissopods versus Cleveland Cavaliers. Going to be a tough one. Going to be a good one. Dom has been struggling in his last few weeks, but he still has a really strong team. Matt has not been struggling as much and has a really strong team. So I feel like this is going to be one of those matches that could go either way, and it's going to be a close one and an interesting one to watch. Both players do have threats, Suicune is a good wall for a lot of the things that Matt will be able to bring. Mega Sharpedo is going to be walled pretty well by Suicune. Even like Volcarona, if Volcarona comes, it'll probably be a like Z Giga Drain Bloom Doom kind of thing to try and break through that Suicune. Um, and then we'll probably have things like Psychic for the Crobat and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so it's going to be an interesting match. Donphan is probably going to be the switch in for the Mega Charizard X. Um, though I guess a physically defensive Girder might be alright for that as well. Even a Weezing could be okay, spec defensively, because the Mega Charizard's not going to be able to hit that with the Earthquake, and a physically defensive Weezing might be able to take a Flare Blitz or or like an Outrageous Dragon Claw or something like that pretty well. And then Weezing could run like Clear Smog or something like that to get rid of any Dragon Dances that the Charizard is going to go for. And Weezing would be a good physical switch in to the Tapu Bulu as well. So definitely some interesting things to think about in this matchup. I did back the Cleveland Cavaliers here. I think that Dom is due for a solid win this week, and I feel like the matchup is a little bit in his favor this week. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty close vote this week. 5 votes for the Green Bay Glispods, 7 for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and yeah, I guess we'll have to see how that comes to fruition this week. Next up is the Adelaide Overheat versus the Ladner Lantern. Once again, I'm not going to go into this matchup too much, but I have a team. He will be prepping a team, and I do struggle against Ian a lot. He's a good builder and a good battler, whereas I don't feel I'm as good as him. But I am going to try my best, and I feel like I can bring a team that can put up a good fight. So I'm going to back myself, with Magic being the only other one that backs me. Everyone else going for the Ladner Lantern there, which I'm not surprised about. He's much higher in the standings than I am, and he's a really solid team this season, in my opinion. So it's going to be a tough game, but I'll do what I can. The next matchup we're going to talk about is the UNC Wingirls versus the Snowpoint City Blizzard. And I feel like Jay with the Wingirls has the advantage in this. Magic's team is an interesting team. It doesn't really have a ton of like coherency and synergy, but like the Rain with the Mega Aggron is useful, and that can beat things like the Mega Camerupt and stuff like that. Rotom-Mow will be really useful on the Wingirls this week, I believe. And like I don't know, I am backing Jay's his abilities and his knowledge of the game in this matchup. Though, like, you can never count out Magic when he's got Meloetta, but his season obviously hasn't been the best. So I'm not sure if this team is really playing to Magic's strengths. Whereas I feel like Jay has been doing really well with the team that he has, especially for the speed that he has limited himself to. So yeah, my vote goes to Jay, as do the majority of other people's, but it is still a fairly close vote with 7 to the UNC Wingirls and 5 to the Snowpoint City Blizzard. Next up is going to be match of the week, in my opinion, the Tampa Bay Weasels versus the Wiltshire War Turtles. Two of the top competitive teams for this season so far. Tampa Bay Buizoos have a strong looking team. The Wiltshire War Turtles also have a strong team, and Fuel has shown that he is quite adept with the Conkelder, and like the rest of his team as well, but specifically he's been getting a lot of kills with the Conkelder. Ben, on the other hand, I don't think, like, his team in general has been putting in a lot of work, but I think it's been spreading the kills around pretty evenly, so there's nothing that's heading to the very top of the kill leaderboard. So or what I'm trying to say is it's going to be a great matchup, and this would probably be my game of the week game to watch if you're only going to watch one. I am going with Ben's record this season. He's doing really well, not very many losses at all. So I'm going to pick the Tampa Bay Buizoos for me to pick up the win here, which most people are going to as well, with only 3 backing the Wiltshire War Turtles. But I think the Wiltshire War Turtles do have a very solid chance of coming away with the win, so there's always that possibility. Our final matchup for the week is the Atlanta Raptors versus the Detroit Terravolts. Also going to be a very interesting game to watch. Mega Altaria is always a threat, but the Celesteela is a pretty decent wall for that. Mega Altaria doesn't really get a lot that can touch a Celesteela. So we're going to have to see how Austin plays around that. But then Celesteela's not got a lot to touch the Tangrowth with. I guess can Toxic it, but Regenerator is going to help with that Toxic. Celesteela can Earthquake for the Empoleon, which would otherwise be able to sit in front of the Celesteela pretty easily. But like, I'm expecting a bulky Celesteela with Leech Seed, Toxic, Earthquake, and like Heavy Slam or something like that. Most likely, you could get rid of the Toxic for just like another offensive move, Air Slash or something like that, to hit that Tangrowth decently. But I feel like that kind of set will work really well in Nacho's favour this week. But if Nacho lets Mega Altaria set up, he's going to be in a lot of trouble unless he's still got that Celesteela there. If Austin can get rid of Celesteela, then Mega Altaria can set up and sweep, that's for sure. Though things like the Piloswine with the Ice Shard and stuff like that will still threaten the Mega Altaria. So it's going to be a tough game for both competitors here. But I feel like the Atlanta Raptors can come away with this win, and that's who I backed, as do most other people. Atlanta Raptors versus the Detroit Terravolts, 8-4. So most people backing Austin and the Staraptors here. Though Nacho and the Detroit Terravolts definitely has his win conditions that could make it a very interesting game to check out as well. So yeah, that's going to be our picks for this week of the NCL, the Nimbasa City League Pick'ems. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, we'll see you next week for our Week 12 matchups and for the results from this week. So thank you for watching, and we will catch you later. Peace.